Well, since you're dropping the ball with the book reviews lately, I'm picking up the slack. I'm here with a book review, everyone.
It's a book review, guys. I think if you've been paying attention, you'll be excited about this book review, because this was the book that Liam was potentially going to recommend me after American Psycho.
I thought this could be our very first book that we do on a culture swap.
And he said, "You know what? You read faster than me.
Yeah.
I'll start reading now.
Yeah.
When I get about halfway through, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
We can review it together."
Yeah.
And then I got told, actually, I think you might fucking hate this.
This is another one of those examples where I read it as a kid, or as like a teenager, and was like, "Oh, this is really good." And then I read it as an adult man, and I was like, "Oh dear, stupid young Liam, you dickhead." Okay, House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski, I think is his name. This is off the top of my head right now.
Very impressively.
Wow. Okay, so how to describe House of Leaves? As I've said to you in the past, this is the sort of book that you would either absolutely love and get way into,
I think I'd hate it.
or you would really hate it.
Yeah.
Like, really hate it.
I think it's that.
So, what is House of Leaves about? I'm pleased you asked. Predominantly,
Yep.
the main story is an essay type thing, like an academic essay written by this blind guy called Zampano about a movie.
I can't believe you even thought I'd like it.
I think you would. And okay, so what the movie is about, that this essay is about, right? Because you have to bear with me on this, right? Because I'm going to try and simplify this, but the book very deliberately makes it very confusing. So what the main bulk of the book, which is this
I swear to
essay,
fuck, if you say the movie is about an essay, I'm going to hit something.
No. Right, the movie is about this family, okay?
Okay.
The main guy is, I think he's called Will Navidson. I'm just checking this. He's a Pulitzer Prize photojournalist.
Oh, wonderful.
And him and his family have just moved, Will Navidson, into a new house.
Is it, just very quick, is the movie meant to be like a documentary, or is it a... Okay.
It's a documentary. So he's a photojournalist, and he's documenting this move in his family, and he's doing his little like things. Basically, he's kind of haunted by this picture that he took, which won a load of awards, which was of this little girl, and behind her is a vulture, and she's all like starving and stuff and near death.
Yeah.
And it's very similar to, there was like another famous picture that was like that, and it kind of ties into this this question of, should like a photographer who's a journalist ever intervene?
Yeah, got you.
And I think when it's like a human life is on the line, probably.
Yeah.
But he got a picture, and then the story behind that picture is he tried to save the girl, but she died in his arms. And it's kind of haunted him. He's kind of like taken a step back from photojournalism. He's moved out into the country with his family, into this house. He's set up all cameras in all the rooms, and he's making a documentary.
Right, of course, yep.
He's been having problems with his wife, but they're kind of working through it. His wife is...
Oh my god, I'm so bored, and you're just you're like not even into it yet.
I know. Right, but no, we're about to get there. I promise.
Okay.
His wife is decorating this room. She sets a bookshelf up on it, and she has a book that's leaning on like the top of the bookshelf against a wall. Right?
Yeah, that's a bad way to set up a book. Yeah, all right, Karen.
The next day, that book falls.
Yeah.
And they measure the room, and it's grown by like 0.5 of a millimeter or something, right?
Wow.
No, but bear with me. So the room inside the house has grown, but all of the measurements outside of the house are the exact same.
Okay.
So you end up with this room that keeps expanding.
Okay.
Outside the laws of like physics.
Yeah.
Until,
no, I get it. Yeah.
Until a door opens up, right?
Okay.
In this wall that takes you into a corridor, which would expand to like, this corridor just goes on and has loads of rooms leading off to it, and it leads you to a staircase.
Okay.
And like this would have all gone like through the house outside, but there is nothing outside. Like so it's a series of documentary videos, and one of the videos is literally them like circling the house and then going into the room and going through this hallway that should be which doesn't make sense, right?
No, wild.
Yep. And the film is all about this thing. He gets these like explorers in, they try and figure out what's going on. At certain points they hear this like growling inside this
The
like
corridor.
yeah, and also every now and again the rooms shift
In the house or in the corridor?
in the corridor,
Okay.
and that big staircase shrinks and
Yep.
expands. So
Okay.
at one point they go down the staircase and it takes them like 10 minutes, and then when they try and go back up the staircase it takes them a week.
Right, okay. Right.
It's honestly insane, right? So the main thing is this guy writing this essay about it and using like all of these like scholarly references, and like within the context of this book, this is a very famous film that loads of people
Obviously.
have written academically about.
Yes. Well, if that was a real film, it would be very famous.
Except while that's going
Yeah.
on, you've
Oh,
then
good.
got another story which is told through footnotes by a guy called Johnny Truant. Now his story is he's found Zampano's essays. Zampano's now dead, and he's
Yeah.
trying to piece together this story while also going through his own mental breakdown, because as he's reading more and more about this house, it's starting to affect him mentally. And he talks about how he's tried to research into all of the like scholarly references and stuff that are in this essay, and he can't find any evidence of most of these books ever existing.
Got you. So is it a sort of like him, that third guy?
Johnny Truant.
Is he in like our world? Is he the equivalent of our world with this book that doesn't exist because it's a fictional book, but in their world it's real? So then it's like
this whole
2 levels
yeah,
deep.
the way
on-
they're trying to like pitch this is that like this book is a real book.
Yeah.
And like his footnotes and that, and there's even like notes from the editor that are like, oh, like, so for example there'll be like Latin, and Johnny Truant will be like, I don't know what the translation is, and then there'll be a footnote from an editor that's like, this is the translation.
Great.
And then you get to
Sounds
certain chapters where, as they're exploring this labyrinth, the writing on the page starts twisting, and you get loads of different footnotes that take you into different directions. So the actual book itself becomes like a labyrinth to read, to try and replicate what the
Well,
characters
does it
are
become a
going
labyrinth
through.
because the labyrinth only has one path?
But this technically only has one path if you follow the right path.
Okay. Well, if
There's
it
just
has
lots.
any turnings off, then it's a maze.
Fuck knows what it is. It's just confusing. And then like there's
It
different
sounds
bits
shit.
where like as things are meant to like be ramping up, you'll get less and
Yeah.
less words on a page, and there'll be like whole pages with just like 1 or 2 words on, and then it's just, I don't know why young me thought it was good. I really don't.
I can tell you exactly why. Because young you, I think, and I don't know when it happened, but you have a thing where you read certain graphic novels or watch certain things and you go, this is so pretentious. It's trying to be smarter than it is, and it wants smart people to read it and be like, I'm so smart. The reason you don't like those things, Liam, is because you're that person. Because young you was that little dickhead who read House of Leaves and went, I'm so smart because I understand that it's a maze. And then old you's forgotten about the mazes, and you're just like, labyrinths. And everyone's like, ugh,
Honestly,
get out.
pretentious is the exact right word for this book. The thing that's weird is I looked it up on Goodreads, right? And it's generally really well reviewed. And even people like Will Wheaton have like raved about this book.
Yeah.
And I generally respect his opinion. But I don't get how anyone could like this book. It's fucking ridiculous. It's awful. Honestly, 1 out of 5.
There we go. I'm not going to read it. Well, I might at some point.
Look, the thing is,
I'll either like it or hate it.
I wish that you weren't broken in the same way that I am, and that you could just read like the first chapter and be like,
Just to see.
yeah, be like, yeah, this is for me, I'm going to read the rest, or be like, nah, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, because there's not... The only book I'd ever started and not finished was American Psycho, I think.
But you finished it.
And I finished it. Because there was the only other book I've ever had that with was a book where I read the first chapter and just hated it, like full on.
Yeah.
Was like, this book's shit, I don't know why I picked it. And that stopped me reading for ages. And then eventually I just went, no, fuck it, I'll read it. And then that turned out to be an amazing book. And I was like, oh, I should have kept going. But
I would love to have a discussion with you, because there is a whole community around this where people have started like trying to read really deep into it, and like
when did it come out? Is it a recent-ish thing? Or
in the 2000s, I think.
maybe I'll try it at some point. I'm just worried that I'll start it and be like, I fucking hate it. And then I'll just be stuck again.
Yeah, I know. That's what worries me as well, which is why I wish you could just do chapter 1 and then see, because
Yeah.
there are honestly bits in it that are good, and there was passages and stuff that I was like, oh, I'm into the story now, but there was just so much where it was just trying to do way too much. And then what makes it worse is it's got like appendices, and you'll be reading a bit and you'll be like, oh, I'm making good progress, and suddenly it's like, for all of Johnny Truant's letters to his mother that was locked in a mental asylum, turn to this page, and you go there, and it's like 60 pages of these letters, and I think even the editor note is like, you don't need to read these, but it will help you understand where he's coming from in this bit.
Yeah, and then you read them, because I would as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, it was a challenge getting through it.
You can see why I want to just read some shit fantasy for a while, Liam, right?
Yeah, I want you to read this. Because you might get way into it and you might be like, oh my god, this bit means this, and you didn't even pick up on that, and I'd be like, you're pretentious.